you trying to do for real? For real.
Cosmic, psychedelic funk is what I came to do. Yep. I'm sold by funky. Hey. Sold by funky. I'm sold by cosmic soul.
What's up, everybody? It's yours truly, Takarnico, aka the Identity Architect. And who are you?
Well, gee, thanks for that. I'm kind of feeling inferior.
Are you
Good
Sir
morning,
Alan
good
Black?
afternoon. I'm Sir Alan T. Black.
Yes.
We're here for...
The Authors Authority Lounge. It's our official TV show for authors, and we're super excited to have this amazing gentleman in the studio with us today, yesterday, whenever you're catching this. So you know that sometimes on our show we have authors that are talking about their stories from a fictional standpoint, non-fictional standpoint. We have another children's book author in his house, Robert Nutt. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we're excited to have him. So tell us a little bit about your children's book that you created.
Yes, The Keys to a Better World. That journey has been, it's been something else, and was inspired by my daughter. You know how these kids are. She has 1,000 little stuffed animals, and yes, and I was watching her play with one of them one day that I had, purchased for her. It's a little owl.
Okay.
And she named it Tweet, and she was just having a little conversation with it. And I remember thinking, like, that would make a great children's book. And I kind of toyed around with the ideal for a little bit in my head, and little by little, I just started to, I began to write some stuff down, and The Keys to a Better World came to life because of that. Yeah, so it's a story about faith, what it takes, especially in this world, in today's world. We need stories. I felt like the kids needed stories that would encourage them to be stronger and to look for God, to help them answer and navigate some of life's troubles. So faith, there's themes of faith, hope, and love there. Like my daughter was the inspiration, but I think she's every little 7-year-old, 12-year-old girl who, who wants to do something in life, who has someone to look up to, and the character in the book, she is that superhero, for the children to look up to, both the little girls and the little boys, who the theme is at any age, at any size, you can make a difference.
True. Love that.
In life, so yeah.
So Robert, as far as you writing the book,
yes,
I know that had to be a challenge, but let me ask you a different question. How has your daughter received it? What's her feedback?
Yes. Yeah. Yes, Robbie actually loves the book. So she would have me read it every day, if every moment of the day. She actually loves the book, which
so cool.
Makes me happy. I wanted to leave a legacy. I wanted to leave something for my daughter. So it makes me happy that she enjoys the book. I hope that as she gets older, and and she reads the book, and she will even enjoy it even more. I think it's fantastic that she has something like that out with her name on it, inspired by her.
So how long would you say that it took for you to write the book from start to finish, illustration, thoughts, all of that?
Yes, so I used Amazon, which, takes a lot of that, the illustration and stuff out of it for right now. It's just a digital copy, but I would say 4 to 6 months.
Yeah.
It took to get the story down, to write, to do some revisions and things like that, to right now, I am in the process of wanting to get it into paperback. I'm just have to tweak it a little bit because it's on Amazon. It has to be a certain amount of pages and things like that, and wanted to be clear when it's published. I wanted to be nice, nice work of art too. You know,
Sure.
so but yeah, it's it's a great story. I think so. I think it's a great story. For children, for parents to read to their children.
Yeah.
For people to explore with their children. The benefits and how life can look through these facets of
Absolutely.
faith, hope, and love.
What have you learned about yourself in the
Yeah.
process of writing this book?
That's a good
You
question.
know what? I never thought that I would one day write a
Really? Wow.
kids book, a kids novel. I don't even know what to call it. A kids book. It just shows that life is full of journeys. Like
True.
the journey the character on in the Keys to a Better World. The life is full of journeys. You never know what
For sure.
you never know what you can do. You never know what what is gonna inspire you to do something. So for me, I learned that I've always loved writing. Writing. Music, my two first loves there, and as far as it goes for arts, so a lot of people don't notice about me. I think I even enjoy writing more than I enjoy playing the guitar. I mean, that's a debate, but anyway. So it was a process. I learned, like, what, it can be fun, and I can get tied up in wanting to be a perfectionist sometimes.
I think that's creative.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
we,
you
we,
know.
we just sometimes we
Yes.
don't even get started because
Yes.
in our mind it has to be this certain way, and then we
Yeah.
perfect it 5,489 times.
Exactly.
And then we're
Yes.
finally like, okay, then I'm gonna leap, and then we still finding ourselves perfecting
Yes.
it. I love what you're sharing. So one of the things that I'm wondering, and I'm probably the audience is wondering too, what are some of those keys that are in your book that make up a new world?
Yes, so the keys are faith, hope, and love. We explored those three themes. The journey, Tweet, and Robbie go on their journey
So
to
cute.
to acquire the keys back. The keys have been stolen. Faith, hope, and love. The keys, and the world has turned into a very dark place.
Wow.
Sort of like today, today's world.
sure.
We have, we could use a little bit more of faith, hope, and love in today's world. If you ask me, or if you ask Tweet, but so we can use a little bit more of those themes in real life. And as Robbie and Tweet go on this journey, they face themes like fear. How do you overcome fear?
Right.
What does fear look like to
Wow.
a child?
Yeah.
And how,
Good point.
How does a parent help a child overcome that?
That's good.
What is it like to love? How it's just as simple as sharing your meal or something like that. Opening a door for someone. Exploring these things through little hands and little feet, little eyes. To encourage some good benefits, some good values and stuff like things I would want my daughter to grow up with.
Absolutely.
And any child to grow up with. It's hard navigating life.
For sure.
It's hard for parents to navigate
Yeah.
with children. The story of the Keys to a Better World. Is a child, the little hero in all of us who wants to see that better world.
Yeah.
What we're looking at ourselves. What does it take? It starts with us. I think when we're children, we have a lot of dreams.
Sure.
Exactly.
Of what we want to do in life.
Yeah.
The hero who we are. We're thinking about that hero in forms of being a doctor or a police officer, or the things that we imagine ourselves to be. We're thinking of our mark, our destination. So that's what the Keys to a Better World is. So there's going to be 3 parts to the book. There's going to be three parts of that, just 3 stories. With the last being the Garden of Grace, we explore that. You need grace. So yeah, you need grace in life. That's what the last book is.
For sure.
For. But
Wow.
the first one,
Okay.
yeah, the keys. they go on a journey to get those keys back home safe, and they go through the woods. They go across the seas.
Man.
So it's a nice little adventure. For the two.
Sounds like adulthood.
Yeah.
That's another story for another time. As they say, to be continued.
To be
Yes.
continued.
We're going to leave it there.
Okay.
Yes.
Robert, does your daughter see herself in this story to a certain extent?
She knows that the story was written about her with her in mind. I don't think right now that she really grasps it. That the story is really basically her.
Yeah.
That she's the face of it. That I wanted her to read it as she gets older, and when she faces those things, I wanted her to start to, to question her own. To question herself, to come up with some of her own answers to the obstacles she may face in life.
good.
Being a single father, I wanted to leave her with questions and hopefully answers to search some things out. To look into the deeper meaning of things. And to my first example of kindness. When we explore kindness and the keys to a better world is because my mother showed me what kindness is. I have that picture of kindness from my own mother.
Yeah.
I seen her feed a stranger while we were on a picnic, and it left an impression on me. So I felt like my mother didn't leave me in a monetary inheritance, but she did leave me something as so valuable that I can keep giving it, and I can teach others about it.
That's so good.
For that kindness was something that I can spend that for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
So, and that's what I wanted to do with the keys to a better world. Leave Robbie with something that that she can look back to and say someone was thinking about her, her future thoughts.
That's really
and stuff
powerful.
like that,
Isn't it?
Really powerful.
So, yeah.
So, Robert, I was also thinking about your daughter is 7. As time goes by, she will see herself in the story. That being the case, is there a Robbie story you forecast when she's 10, when she's 12? Or what are you thinking, bro?
Oh, that's a good question.
She's 4 right now.
Oh,
Thank
she's 4.
God.
I'm sorry.
Who was 7? I mean,
Hold on.
yeah.
He kind of sweating
Yeah.
over there. He like getting a little nervous.
Can we get a napkin on the set?
Yeah. I don't. That's a good question because as I sometimes when I'm reading stories to Robbie or when I see other, little children, how they act nowadays and stuff like that, I imagine I'm like, that's gonna be Robbie one of these days. I'm like, I'm gonna be, she's gonna be 10, and what if she doesn't want to be she doesn't want to be the protagonist in the keys to a better world. She wants to do her own thing. Maybe she wants to, she speaks about dancing, So, what inspired me was her playing with her stuffies, and then I started to bring in more stuffies and started to see how I could tell stories of, stories is just, we borrow from our own life experiences.
Exactly.
You know, and you can choose to tell that story in many different ways.
For sure.
As the artist and the author, you have many different ways you can tell your story. Some people tell it straight out in biologies or biographies. I like to use fiction to tell stories that have meaning, drawn from own personal experiences. The keys for a better world explore some of my lifehood dilemmas and challenges as a child as well. In the next 2 books, we explore some more of those childhood memories and battles that that sometimes are taboo and that people don't really talk to kids about. So in a way that it brings it up without so kids can explore how they feel as well.
I'm sure the audience is wondering, because I know I'm wondering, for the big question of this interview. You ready? I don't know if you're ready, Alan.
Hit me.
Have you thought about creating a series?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
That's why you the co-host.
Yes. 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 So, uh, the Keys to a Better World will be a 3-book series.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
I was
It will
hoping
be-
that was gonna
yeah.
be the
It
answer.
will be a 3-book series. I thought of no, probably no more than that, but at least a 3-book series where we explore, some themes have to do with truth and grace and forgiveness and uh, hope and stuff like that. As a you'd be surprised, man. Kids,
These kids, I'm telling you,
they get about 18 years old, they can start holding some grudges, man. You know?
they hold grudges at
Yeah,
7. What do you
yeah,
mean?
for real. They start holding those grudges and stuff. So they're very influenced.
For
they're
sure.
Influenced by the things that they're hearing and the things that they're seeing and reading and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
So it takes a village. So I'm just doing my part as an author, as a single parent to a beautiful little toddler myself. To help all our little toddlers grow.
so. You said it's going to be a 3-book series. So in a way, if I'm wrong, please correct me. Once you do the first book, it pretty much says I've got to do a second book. I have to do a third book. It's almost like
Yeah.
Yeah.
in lockstep you have to do it. Is that
Yeah.
fair to say?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what I found is I could have made the first book like really long, and then I said, well, why don't I just break it up? Just break it up into different stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that idea. I
Have
do.
3 stories. So that was my take on it. And plus, I was just watching. I think at this time I was just watching Robbie and her stuffies a lot, trying to get inspiration.
Yeah.
To add in other characters. That's why you see the lion and the hippos and in later books, because more of the stuffies and Gail, the dogs and stuff like that. More of the stuffies come along into the book with more roles and explore more themes and stuff like that. So yeah, a 3-book series, and who knows, where to go. I always think that you never know where something may go.
That's true.
Yeah, that's very true.
You never know. I just hope that when people are reading the stories, that they get something out of it. That is something lasting. We got enough in the world with
For real.
Yeah, that's true.
to distract us from what really matters. We're getting just some good old down home principles, man, to help us from one day to the next.
Yeah, because I mean, as you're sharing, I definitely
Yeah.
can hear that there's more books in
Yes.
Oh,
you.
yeah,
Yeah,
for
I
sure.
mean,
Yeah.
and when you
For
have
sure.
when you have a little one inspiring you,
Yeah.
there's so much.
Yes.
These kids come with so much excitement and
Yes.
joy, and then things that they're looking to overcome, and all these things at an early age. But I want to go back for a second. When did you realize your gift for writing? Like, what age were you?
I used to be an avid reader. Anything from fiction to nonfiction, biology. I read excuse me. I read a lot of teenage, I guess, male books. There was this series called The Executioner. It's about Mac Bolan. I can't remember the author's name, but I was reading all these books, and in my teens, I was reading a lot of Stephen King books, and I decided that I wanted to start writing short stories because of Stephen King, and so I must have been in my early 20s, mid 20s when I started to really explore writing.
So, like, maybe a year ago is what he said.
Yeah. Frederick Douglass really inspired me. If you really hear his story
Yeah.
about learning to write and stuff like that, and then his greatness, what he did, that really inspired me at that time. I remember just being inspired to write. It was one of those arts that you can teach yourself how how to do and become well and doing well. The more you practice and the more you read. So I read a whole bunch of books. I read a lot of books. I think any writer will tell you that. Any author would tell you they read a ton of books. I read a ton of books. I wrote a lot of short stories that never come to anything except me just writing them. And I wrote everything, you know, poetry, songs, novels. Yeah, so
Well, Robert, you mentioned earlier as we were talking, you play the guitar.
yes,
So have you written song via the guitar?
yes, yes,
So isn't that possibly where the writing also
yeah,
established its foundation as well?
yes, yeah. As a songwriter, uh, you know, a lot of those same. I use a lot of that same part of my mind, exploring life's problems or answers.
good.
You know, when writing a song.
Yeah.
You know, there are two. I compartmentalize the two arts. You know, songwriting and fictional writing to me they're different. You know, songwriting explores, you know, a unique situation or emotion within a time frame that, you know, wants to tell a story or take you on a journey. While a story, I want to leave you with some questions. You know,
Okay.
want to leave you with some questions, some things to explore. You know, so and I that's why I say I think it's writing is what is my first love, because writing is where it's all at. You know,
That makes sense.
writing songs, writing, you know, is where it all begins for me. So
So one of the things that you may not know about Sir Alan Black is that he's
Yes.
been a lyricist for over 50 years.
yes,
And so when he asked that question, I thought it was very,
Apropos?
yes,
the word I was going to say was like bullseye, because
I'll go with bullseye.
yeah, you know, because as a writer, as an author, sometimes we think that it's only in this way.
yeah,
But you've been writing music for a long time,
Yes,
and so
yeah, yes.
it's really exciting that you're putting all of these loves together as a creative, and
Yes.
we're looking forward to seeing more books from you. I think, based off of your story, I can't wait for you to write
yes,
more about
yes.
your story and your journey, and I think that's going to be very instrumental as well. And just, you know, we're looking forward to seeing more from you as Robert Nutt, the brand. you
Yes.
know. So
Yes.
where can people find your book right now?
Yeah, Kindle. It's on Kindle on Amazon Unlimited right now. The paperback or hardback will be coming out, I would say, probably about mid 2026.
Okay.
No later than that, I hope. I hope anyway.
I got an idea for you. We'll talk
Yes.
after. Once,
Okay.
We'll talk.
Okay,
It's gonna be
yes.
before that, y'all. You
Yes.
heard it here.
So, you know, it's exciting that you can use places like Amazon Kindle
Yeah.
to publish now. You know,
Yeah.
you don't have to go through that.
Whole traditional
Yeah,
publishing
you
thing.
don't have to go through that, and you know, it just we need more talent out there than
Yeah.
just the hand selected. You know, there's lots of stories out there. There's lots of talent here in Omaha, Nebraska. So
For sure.
yeah, I just, you know, I love writing. I love writing for my child.
That's so
and
cool.
So yeah. you
So
know,
real quick, tell everybody again, spell your name out, name of the book, exactly
Yes.
where they can find it.
Yes, so I'm Robert Nutt, and the book is The Keys to a Better World.
Yes.
And you can find it on Amazon Unlimited right now. So I think you can actually read it for free right now.
Okay,
On
okay.
Kindle, The Keys to a Better World. You can read it for free now. It's a great story. Anywhere from, you know, I would say from 4 to 11 years old.
I'm
you know.
thinking adults can read
Yeah.
that and understand, hey,
Yeah.
there's some keys that
Yeah,
I
yeah.
might need to tap into.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, and look for I would say the hardback or paperback. to be coming out pretty soon as well.
Yeah.
You know, pretty
Before
soon.
mid 2026, we're gonna help him get it out here with the
Yes,
Triple AG's
yes,
help.
yes. So that's good.
Robert, how has this changed you? How do you feel different now that you are
Yeah.
an author?
That's a good question because when I take Robbie to the parks, we do a tour of parks in Omaha, basically.
That's cool.
But when I take her to the park, now I'm always watching the kids, her and how they interact, and kids, they, one thing I found interesting about kids, they will start to call each other friend or best friend right away.
Yeah.
And I thought, we a long life somewhere we begin to that innocence begins to shed off of us
That's good.
as we're shaped by culture
Yeah.
and things like that. And it made me and it showed me just how important it is to keep some of that childlikeness even through growing up, but how you also have to have wisdom
Yeah.
as you grow up as well.
Yeah.
Because as we learn, not everyone will be your best friend.
Amen.
You'll learn that real quick.
You sure
but
do.
as a kid,
Yeah, you do.
when you're just playing with one another and stuff, and you have that common goal, that's all they want.
Yeah.
And that's loyalty. You're just
sure.
playing. So I just really learned that kids are so impressionable, and it is really up to us. What seeds are we going to plant for our children?
Yes.
Good
How do
point.
we want to see what generation? How do we want to see a generation of kids grow up?
Yeah.
What do we want to instill in them?
For sure.
What type of leaders do we want? That's what I think that we need to. It's the responsibility of us all.
I love it.
To raise our children well. We teach our children how to play with one another really well,
Yeah.
and then we'll also teach them how to fight against one another.
That's a whole nother story.
Right?
For
It's
real.
a whole
That's
story.
a whole nother story.
With kids, yeah.
So we've been sitting here spending some time with Robert Nutt. You can find his book on Amazon. It's Robert Nutt. Make sure you know that. And it's been another great episode of the Authors Authority Lounge, the official TV show for authors. And we'll see you next time.
What you trying to do for real? For real.
Cosmic psychedelic funk is what I came to do. Yep.